Good morning. This morning we're going to go ahead and look at a piece of culture and part of the religion of the Mesopotamians. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the oldest living and existing documents of their culture, and we're going to examine that in a little bit more detail. So we're going to start off with the purposes of religion, and as we go through this course, you're going to deal with a number of different civilizations, and their belief systems have a lot to do with the nature of the civilization. Whether you're a religious person or not, having an understanding about a civilization's belief system is kind of key to who they were or who they are as a civilization. It forms the basis of their values of the civilization, their legal code. Many aspects of their day-to-day life are deeply influenced by their religion. What are the functions? You're going to need this, by the way. It's highlighted in yellow. 4 functions of a religion. It provides an explanation for natural events. Some could be the seasons, the sun rising and setting, disasters, those natural disasters that explain why good people have bad things happen to them. Natural events that have to be explained. Religion plays a role with that. It shapes the relationships between the individual and the society. We can't live together in a complex society without understanding that we have obligations towards one another. Religion helps put that in place. That's the mortar that holds the bricks together. It provides a moral code about what's right, what's wrong, and that becomes the basis for law. All religions usually deal with this. It explains the purpose of a life well lived. So again, it's going to go ahead and give you through stories, parables. It will tell you a little bit about all that, and the values of the society will come out. So this brings color into the picture of old dead bones when we start to look at ancient civilizations. And it also gives us a way to kind of look at our own society and our own civilization and look at it from this perspective as well. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Here's a summary of what you're going to go ahead and do your primary source kind of reading about, and that's going to be a comparison of different flood stories. But that's a part of it. The context of it is about a old Sumerian king named Gilgamesh, and you're going to hear a little bit about the background and the context here in this.
The Epic of Gilgamesh is among the earliest known works of literature. An epic is a long poem that tells the story of legendary or heroic people or gods. Like most epics, the first stories of Gilgamesh began as oral fables handed down by word of mouth. Hundreds of years after the poets first spoke of Gilgamesh, the legends were collected and recorded on clay tablets. The story takes place nearly 5,000 years ago. Gilgamesh was the king of the wealthy city of Uruk. The king was strong and handsome, but he was also cruel. Gilgamesh forced the people of Uruk to build him great palaces. He also made his subjects live in constant fear. When the people of Uruk begged the gods for help, they led Enkidu to Uruk. Enkidu was also big and strong, but he was wild and ignorant of the ways of civilized people. Enkidu was raised in the forest where he lived with the animals. When Enkidu learned of Gilgamesh's cruelty, the wild man challenged the mighty king to fight. As the two powerful men battled, they realized they admired one another. So instead of remaining enemies, they became inseparable friends. The unlikely pair left Uruk to embark on many adventures. Gilgamesh and Enkidu entered the forbidden cedar forest where the gods lived, but they soon faced a grotesque monster named Humbaba. In order to protect the cedar forest, the gods assigned Humbaba as a terror to human beings. Humbaba's roar is a flood, his mouth is fire, and his breath is death. Gilgamesh and Enkidu tricked the beast, so the powers of Humbaba were spread over the lands of Sumer. Gilgamesh displeased the goddess Ishtar, so she sent the fearsome bull of heaven to destroy the crops of the Sumerian farmers. Gilgamesh and Enkidu killed the bull. This enraged the gods, so they caused Enkidu to fall ill and die. Gilgamesh was heartbroken by the death of his friend. The king also feared that one day he would also die, so Gilgamesh began to search for the secret of eternal life. One version of the epic describes a terrible flood that covered the earth many years before the time of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh went on a long journey to meet Utnapishtim, an elderly man who survived the floods because the gods warned him of the coming deluge. Utnapishtim told Gilgamesh, "The life you are seeking you will never find. When the gods created man, they allotted him death, but life they retained in their own keeping." Gilgamesh returned home with wisdom from his adventures with Enkidu and Utnapishtim. Gilgamesh became a gentle ruler who no longer mistreated the people of Uruk. Gilgamesh realized that he could not escape death, but he could live on in the memories of the people he loved. The Epic of Gilgamesh had many parallels to the story of Noah and the Great Flood in the Old Testament of the Jewish and Christian holy books. Other cultures also have legends of a great flood. The Greek legends say a god named Zeus once unleashed a flood because he was displeased with the sacrifice made in his name. The Hindus speak of Manu, a Brahmin king who saved mankind from a deluge. Modern science has discovered that there was a marked increase in the sea levels about 6,000 years ago as the last ice age ended. The melting ice drained to the ocean, causing the sea levels to rise more than 10 feet in 1 century. Gilgamesh and the other flood legends may be connected with the end of the Ice Age.